Chosen one, listen to me. I am going to be precise because you do not have time for vague comfort. This is not the hour for soft edges and polite speeches that let you keep bleeding. Your spirit has been asking for truth strong enough to save your peace, and I am answering. Lean in, still your hands. Wherever you are right now, stop the scrolling, stop the sorting, stop the mental negotiations you have rehearsed 1,000 times. Take one slow breath, not a deep one, a slow one. In through your nose as if heaven itself is steadying you, out through your mouth as if panic is leaving your body. Good. Stay with me. Hear me clearly. Your weakness is not the problem. Your hunger for human proof is. You have labeled yourself too sensitive, too needy, too much, too late, too behind, as if flaw is your native name. But those labels were trained responses to a world that made you earn every safe glance. Your nervous system did not betray you. It adapted. It learned the rhythm of begging. It learned to seek receipts from people because they held the keys to meals, to acceptance, to salaries, to affection, withheld until you performed the right trick. You are not broken. You were trained into famine logic, and that training is ending. God has already said what needs to be said about you. This is not a motivational sticker. This is a verdict entered in the highest court. Enough. Loved, clean, chosen. The signature is not in invisible ink. Heaven stamped your identity. The seal is not at risk. Yet you keep walking around earth like a notary is missing, like you cannot move until a human pen gives you permission to be who heaven already signed off on. You keep asking people to countersign what God has already settled. That is why your soul feels choked even when you succeed. That is why a compliment gives you 5 minutes of air and then you are right back gasping for another hit. You are trying to treat a covenant with a consensus. Chosen one, look at the pattern with me. You reach outward to calm an inward ache. You send paragraphs to explain what your silence already proved. You overperform to preempt rejection, then apologize for the excellence you just gave. You check read receipts like oracles, decipher tone like a codebreaker, schedule calls to fix atmospheres you did not fracture, and then you lie awake narrating the meeting that has not happened yet. You scroll their page to see if you still exist. You rearrange your calendar to be near people who keep moving the finish line of enough. And when the ache returns, you call it failure. It is not failure, it is the ache of trying to get water from a salt well. The torment is not random. It is a math problem you keep solving the same way. Every time you demand people prove what God has settled, you sign a new lease on anxiety. Every time you stage a case for your worth to a jury that benefits from your doubt, you sentence your peace to unpaid labor. You have made peace a negotiable commodity traded for reactions. That is why your joy spikes and crashes. That is why your clarity blurs when a certain name appears on your phone. That is why you feel dizzy in rooms where you once felt called. You outsourced your verdict to weather. I am not shaming you. I am rescuing you. This is a warning wrapped in mercy. The cost you have been paying is not punishment. It is the natural consequence of being unprepared for a better sequence. Heaven is not scolding you for being human. Heaven is reminding you what being chosen means. It means the original sentence over your life outranks every fluctuating mood around you. It means you no longer stand in line for stamps from people who cannot even validate their own parking. I know the questions you are asking even now. If I stop explaining, will I lose them? If I stop overgiving, will they call me selfish? If I stop sending updates, will they assume I think I'm better? I know the tremor in your chest that has confused adrenaline for discernment. So let me shepherd your body first. Take one slow breath. Slow, not deep. Place your hand over your chest if you can. Feel the rise and fall. You are safe enough in me to hear this truth. You do not owe anyone a live stream of your reconstruction. to be worthy of being rebuilt. Chosen one, hear the core correction. You have treated "you are enough" like a fragile affirmation to protect, rather than an unbreakable decree to obey. You have tried to prove a verdict instead of living from it. Tonight, that stops. Not by gritting your teeth and deciding to care less. Not by swinging to coldness or cynicism. By entering a precise sequence that restores identity where it lives. Inside your breath, inside your prayer, inside your pen. We are not going to argue with your ache. We are going to reassign its authority. Do not let your mind bargain with me about schedules and tomorrow and how busy you are and how late it is. Pay attention. There is a window in front of you. Chronos will tell you it is just another night. Your calendar is lying if it says, "This is ordinary." Kairos is here, the appointed interruption where I reach into the circuitry of your worth and rewire how you receive. It will not happen by accident. It will not happen if you skim this and go back to your reflexes. It will happen because you choose obedience over theatrics. So listen to my promise and write it into your bones. Tonight, I will give you a sequence. If you follow the order, you will feel the shift before you sleep. The order is everything. One slow breath to break the panic contract with people. One prayer to transfer custody of your worth back to me. One journal page to make a receipt your mind cannot pretend it never received. Breath, prayer, journal, in that order. Do not rearrange it and then accuse me of silence. Do not sprint to the prayer while your body is still broadcasting emergency. Do not write while your heart is still waiting for a text to tell you who you are. Sequence is mercy. Sequence is protection. For now, let this revelation settle. Your weakness is not the enemy you have been fighting. Your hunger for human proof has been. And even that hunger is a misdirected gift, proof that you were made to be affirmed by a voice that never wavers. You are not too needy. You are too available to the wrong courtroom. You are not too sensitive. You are tuned to the frequency of real relationship and starved by performance contracts. Come home to what I settled. Breathe. I am here. We will walk this in order and you will sleep under a different verdict than the one you woke under. Chosen one, I need to show you the bill you have been paying without seeing the receipt, not as punishment, as consequence. When you live out of sequence, when you demand people prove what I already settled, you do not get struck by lightning. You get slowly emptied. You pay with clarity. You pay with sleep. You pay with peace. You pay with momentum. The drain is quiet on purpose because the enemy does not need you destroyed to delay you. He just needs you distracted and drowsy, awake enough to react to every ping, too fogged to recognize me when I whisper. Take one slow breath, slow, not deep. Let me shepherd your body so your mind can hear. The cost you feel is not random sadness. It is a ledger. It is the math of a soul outsourcing its verdict to weather. Here is the cycle, and I want you to say it with me in your heart so you can finally see it. A trigger, a silence that feels like danger, a look that feels like dismissal, a post that feels like being left behind. You reach for a person, a text, a call, a carefully staged post, a casual "what did you think?" that is not casual at all. Temporary relief, a notification, a compliment, a crumb of access, a laugh that lands like a bandage. Increased shame. Why did I need that again? Why didn't it last? What is wrong with me? Increased reaching. Let me fix the shame by getting another hit. Round and round. Each lap trains your brain a little more deeply to tie peace to permission from someone who cannot even guarantee their own tomorrow. And your nervous system, trying to keep you alive, builds a reflex. Exhale when they respond. Hold your breath when they don't. You teach your body that stillness is unsafe unless a human mood grants you green lights. Chosen one, hear me. This is not because you are foolish. This is because you are honest about your hunger and no one taught you how to feed it in order. So you learn to graze on attention. You learn to tether your calm to other people's calendars. That is how destiny gets drained without an alarm going off. You can still be successful and be starving. You can still post the win and be negotiating away your sleep for unseen approval you cannot rest in. Let me name the hidden forms of begging so your mind cannot hide them under polite words. Over-explaining your decisions to people who have not earned access to your process. Checking red receipts like altars as if their timestamp can bless your steps. Rewriting messages 8 times to remove any edge that might invite disapproval, then sending 3 follow-ups to take back your boundaries. Fishing for compliments by saying you are just trying when you know you carried the room. Posting not to share, but to be seen on a feed you secretly resent, then refreshing to count evidence that you exist. Staying in conversations that deplete you because you are scared that silence will be misread as arrogance. Offering discounts on your dignity. It's okay, it's no big deal, when it is a big deal, when your no is holy. Volunteering to be misunderstood and calling it humility. These are all the same act dressed in different clothes. A soul standing in line for stamps from a booth that never closes because the price always changes. The cost is cumulative. It looks like this. Your mornings begin with someone else's mood in your chest. Your focus splinters. Your calling becomes a to-do list built around who answered you. Your decisions wobble because you are listening for tone instead of truth. Your creativity dulls because begging is the loudest song in your head. You can still pray, but you pray from panic. You can still plan, but you plan from fear of being left out. You can still love, but love gets tangled with proving and rescuing and performing. And then, when peace does visit, you do not trust it because it didn't come with a notification chime. I must be precise. There are 2 kinds of evidence you have been using to decide if you are safe. My evidence and people's evidence. My evidence looks like peace, quiet, not dramatic. It looks like alignment. Your actions match your calling even when applause is absent. It looks like obedience. You do the right thing in order before you feel like it, and the fruit follows. People's evidence looks like mood. High today, low tomorrow, untextable on Friday, oversharing on Sunday. It looks like access. Invited this week, ghosted next week, then called at midnight when they need your oil. It looks like attention. Eyes on you when you glitter, silence when you guard yourself. People's evidence is unstable by design. It moves, so you keep moving. You cannot build a house on a seesaw. If you anchor identity to a weather report, you will carry an umbrella into every room and miss the sun that was already shining inside you. Chosen one, take another slow breath. Slow, not deep. Let this land. You are not being punished for needing connection. You are being protected from building a throne for approval where only I belong. The window you are standing in tonight is mercy. Sequence is mercy, and sequence is protection. Because the sequence I am giving you, breath, prayer, journal, is not a trick to feel better for an hour. It is a doorframe. When you step through it in order, you interrupt the trigger reach relief shame reach loop at its root. You retrain your body to exhale with me before any human has a chance to answer. You transfer the custody of your worth to a court that does not adjourn. You write what I have said in ink your mind cannot erase when it gets scared. That is not coping, that is covenant maintenance. I will not let you keep paying tuition to a school that only graduates beggars. Hear me warn you as kindness. If you continue the old sequence, you will still be loved by me, but you will keep leasing your clarity, renewing contracts with exhaustion every month. The cost will hide inside small choices, 5 minutes here, 10 there, until a year passes and you cannot answer simple questions without crowdsourcing your soul. That is what destiny drain looks like. Not scandal, not collapse, just 1,000 almosts that never become assignments because your courage was out on loan. But I am here to end the quiet bleed, not by shaming you for wanting to be seen. I see you, not by mocking you for wanting to be chosen. I chose you. I am here to bring you back inside your own life. Tonight's order is how you walk through the doorway that has kept you standing in the hallway of other people's approval. Breath first to unhook panic from their faces. Prayer second to place your value back into my hands. Journal third to sign the transfer with your own pen and make your mind read what your spirit already knows. In that order, this is how you stop feeding shame its crumbs. This is how you stop training your nervous system to need a ping to permit a sigh. This is how you reclaim sleep that is not under surveillance, clarity that is not for sale, momentum that does not wobble under glances. Chosen one, I am not bargaining with your ache. I am reassigning its authority. Let me be your evidence. Let peace be your proof. Let obedience be your receipt. Tonight, sequence will be your protection and your protest. You will no longer beg for what you already carry. Take one more slow breath. Slow, not deep. You are not losing it. You are leaving a system that never loved you, and as you step in order, you will feel the leak stop. You will watch your life return to you, one quiet, unbargained for peace at a time. Chosen one, let me be precise and make the invisible visible. I am going to hold a mirror steady so the pattern cannot outrun you. This is not to shame you. This is to free you from arguing with fog. Stay with me. Take one slow breath, not deep, slow. Let the air in as if safety is more real than their silence. Let it out as if you are releasing a contract that never protected you. Some of you have been waking at odd times, 3:03, 4:14, 4:44. Your spirit is alert, but your mind calls it anxiety. The window taps your shoulder and your training calls it a problem to fix. You roll over, reach for the phone, and try to sedate a summons with blue light. Hear me. You are not being haunted. You are being invited. The hours are not random. They are rhythm. They are not proof you are spiraling. They are proof you are sensitive to a voice that prefers quiet corridors. I will show you 5 signs: body, behavior, heart, relationships, spirit. If they find you, do not panic. The discovery is not a diagnosis of defect. It is a confirmation that the old training is real and ready to be undone. Sign 1. Your body speaks before you do. Tight chest, throat pressure right before you tell the truth, jaw clenched on your courage, shoulders creeping toward your ears the moment you consider saying no. Breath gets thin when you imagine disappointing them. Stomach knots, palms go damp, tongue presses to the roof of your mouth as if words must pay a toll to exit. This is not random physiology. This is a body that remembers the cost of honesty in rooms that made love conditional. You learn to pre-brace for backlash because history trained you. Truth equals tension, needs equal nuisance, boundaries equal abandonment. So your body tries to keep you at all costs, inside the performance that once kept you fed and not alone. Hear me redefine what your symptoms mean. You are not broken, you are trained. Your nervous system is not a liar, it is loyal. It kept you safe when being yourself felt dangerous, but safety built for famine is not fit for your future. Tonight we teach your body a new sequence. Breath first, so truth does not have to fight through panic to be born. Sign 2. Compulsive checking disguised as casual curiosity. Just seeing, just making sure. Phone, inbox, socials, calendar, Venmo, comments, read receipts. Toggling like the numbers can save you. You tell yourself it is efficiency. It is reassurance seeking. You are looking for proof that you still belong, that you were not forgotten, that your last sentence landed, that your silence did not subtract you from the room. You refresh the post to count a belonging. You scan a thread to find your name, your idea, your imprint. You revisit old messages to re-feel yesterday's kindness because today feels too quiet. Hear me with mercy. None of this makes you shallow. It makes you human and undernourished. When the verdict is outsourced, your fingers turn into fishermen throwing nets for evidence. But evidence from people is weather. It moves, so you must move. It blesses and then disappears. You cannot rest on a tide. I am not condemning your reaching. I am relocating it. Tonight, you will reach for me first. The compulsion will not vanish by scolding. It will be retrained by order. Breath slows the alarm. Prayer returns stewardship of your worth. Then written proof, your own hand, gives your mind a receipt it cannot gaslight. Sign 3. Guilt shows up when you protect your peace. You set a boundary and immediately feel mean. You say, I can't tonight, and your chest floods with heat. You decline an invitation that dilutes you and spend an hour composing a thesis to justify your no. You schedule rest and call it lazy. You feel like abandoning people when you simply stop abandoning yourself. You confuse maturity with martyrdom, growth with ghosting, stewardship with selfishness. Chosen one, listen. Guilt is not always guidance. Sometimes it is grief for a dysfunctional role you no longer agree to play. Your system got used to you rescuing the room, so stillness feels like betrayal. But there is a difference between abandoning someone and discontinuing your participation in a cycle that needs your exhaustion to exist. The ache you feel after you guard your energy is detox, not defect. It is the ringing silence left when you stop performing. Let the silence ring. Let it teach you that love does not demand your panic as proof of loyalty. Take one slow breath. Slow, not deep. Say this in your heart. My no is holy. My peace is worthy. My schedule is an altar, not a landfill. Sign 4. Overfunction as love. You overperform calmness so no one calls you dramatic. You overperform competence so no one sees you as a burden. You overperform humor so no one notices your grief. You overperform spirituality so no one suspects you bleed. You become the diffuser, the fixer, the clown, the sage, the person who makes the room feel safe by swallowing your own tremors. You pre-answer needs they have not named because you learned that usefulness buys you belonging. You write the plan, host the call, carry the water, anticipate the storm, heal the argument before it breathes, laugh away the micro-cut, and then go home heavy because no one seems to notice that your magic is a labor. Hear me. Overfunction is a costume that makes it easier for others to underfunction. It turns you into their regulator and teaches them to confuse your exhaustion with loyalty. It is not love to contort so others can stay small. It is not humility to hide your need. True connection does not require you to amputate your humanity to keep your seat. Tonight, I grant you permission to stop auditioning in relationships you already paid for. Choose unperformed presence over strategic persona. The ones who only love your usefulness were never loving you. They were renting your capacity. Sign 5. Your spirit runs to me most after people disappoint you. The moment the text doesn't come, the plan shifts. The call ends with a sting. Then you pray. You pour out like a child at the nurse's station getting a bandage. That tenderness is beautiful, and I receive it, always. But hear the invitation hidden inside the pattern. You made prayer the emergency room instead of your home. Pain drives you to me. Pleasure drives you to the scroll. You come last, not first. You cry deeply in the valley, and then on the hill of a good day, you wander off to manage it alone. I am not angry. I am jealous for your peace. I do not want to be your crisis contact only. I want to be your daily oxygen. If you feel closest to me right after people fail you, it is not proof that failure is your path. It is proof that your spirit knows where the real water is. Move proximity from last to first. Tonight is the pivot. Breath teaches your body that safety is available before the hurt. Prayer reroutes you in worth that does not wobble with human weather. Journal transcribes heaven's verdict until your mind has to confess it read it. Chosen one, if these signs find you, if your chest is tight at your truth, if your hands scroll for belonging, if guilt sues you for choosing rest, if you perform to be kept, if you only run home when you are bleeding, hear me, you are not broken, you are trained. And the one who trained the seas to stop at the shore is ready to retrain your nervous system, your reflexes, your rituals. You are not too much. You have carried too much of what was never yours to hold. You are not needy. You learned to feed on crumbs when a table was prepared for you. You are not insecure. You were made secure and then told to trade your key for tickets to rooms that never planned to let you sit. Let this land like medicine. Recognition is mercy. Seeing the pattern is not the shame. It is the exit. You cannot fix what you refuse to name. Now you can name it. And naming will not be where we stop. Naming is how we aim the sequence. Breath, prayer, journal in order. Do not sprint ahead to performance even around me. Let me shepherd your body first so you can hear the quiet instructions that follow. Take one slow breath. Slow, not deep. Feel how even now, without a single person replying to you, your chest has more room. That is not accident. That is alignment. Tonight, we stop begging people for receipts they cannot issue. Tonight, we begin gathering evidence from the only court that never changes its hours. You are ready, not because you are perfect, but because you are done pretending you do not see. Chosen one, hear me with the tenderness and the precision you asked for. What you have been calling rejection is often my redirection. This is not me embarrassing you. It is not you being too much. It is not proof you are unworthy. It is not the universe confirming your worst suspicion. It is not the end of love. It is the mercy of release. Take one slow breath, not deep, slow. Let the air teach your body the new truth before your mind argues. The silence you are hearing from certain people is not a void. It is a closed pharmacy. Their validation became a drug, and I am weaning you. Mercy looks like quiet when your ears are addicted to applause. Mercy looks like distance when proximity has been poisoning your peace. Mercy looks like a door that will not open even when you jiggle the handle with perfect politeness, because on the other side of that door your identity keeps getting pawned. I am not punishing you by pulling you back from the rooms where you hustled for eye contact. I am protecting the rebuild. When a bone is resetting, the cast is not cruelty, it is care. When your heart is relearning home, certain hallways must be taped off. Do not rip the tape because you miss the noise. Not rejection, redirection, not unloved, unleashed. Let me correct the lie beneath the ache. You have been saying, they don't want me. Hear what I am saying. I do not want you to need them to want you. You are not actually afraid of being alone. You are afraid that without human proof you will have to believe me. And believing me requires surrender that you cannot broker with a text. Human proof lets you keep your hands on the wheel. My word asks you to release it. That tremor in your stomach is not abandonment. It is the dizziness of exiting a merry-go-round you mistook for a map. Chosen one, some of the slow replies are not disrespect. They are insulation while I recalibrate your triggers. Some of the canceled plans are not shade. They are shade. Like shelter I've cast between your new roots and scorching expectations. Some of the unfollows are not commentary on your worth. They are the removal of mirrors that distort your face every time you look. You prayed for peace. You asked me to make it clear. Do you not see how clarity sometimes wears the face of no more access to the sensor that spikes your anxiety? This is not pettiness, this is precision. Permission now, and I want you to receive it like water. You are allowed to outgrow people without filing a public report. You are allowed to stop explaining decisions that were birthed in prayer. You are allowed to protect what I am rebuilding in you without apologizing to those who preferred you confused. You are allowed to be consistent even when it is misnamed cold. You are allowed to choose quiet over continual crisis. You are allowed to be loved in relationships where you do not have to audition to be kept. You are allowed to let your yes be yes and your no be holy without 3 paragraphs of anesthesia. Take 1 slow breath. Slow, not deep. Let permission unhook your shoulders from your ears. You have been trained to interpret their discomfort as your responsibility, trained to run back in and soothe the very atmosphere that strangles you. No more. I am giving you boundary commands, not as punishment but as protocol to keep the surgery site clean. Listen to me and do not edit what I am saying. Do not text. Do not send the paragraph. Do not explain your heart to someone committed to misunderstanding you. Do not chase a conversation whose only purpose is to re-enroll you in a role you just resigned from. Do not bargain with your peace. You think your word will finally land if you soften the edges, if you wrap it in nostalgia, if you lay down your clarity with a handwritten bow. You think you can make them hear by shrinking what I've said until it fits a quieter version of you they can tolerate. Hear me. They heard you. They are not confused. They are invested. There is benefit in keeping you second-guessing. Explaining more does not clear fog built on preference, and every time you send the paragraph, you withdraw from the account I am trying to fund, your settledness. Every time you justify, you place your worth on a table as collateral and hope the terms are kind. No more. Not rejection, redirection. You are scared that silence will harden you. It will not. It will holy you. You fear that boundaries will make you bitter. They will make you better at telling the truth without bleeding out. You worry that choosing your assignment will be read as arrogance. It will be read by some as arrogance because your docility had been their convenience. Let them read. I am not asking you to slam doors. I am asking you to stop holding them open after I have closed them. Listen to the fear under the fear so I can speak to it plainly. You do not dread an empty room. You dread the quiet in which my verdict must become your oxygen. You fear the first hour after you say no, the shaking, the heat, the pull to rescue the image of you in their minds. But chosen one, that hour is where I meet you. That hour is the birthplace of your new nervous system. That hour is where breath, prayer, and journal will do their appointed work. Breath to let the panic pass without you solving it with a ping. Prayer to place your value back in my custody where no mood can trespass. Journal to make a receipt your mind cannot erase when it misses the old applause. If you text in that hour, you abort the work. If you send the paragraph, you reset the lesson. If you explain your heart to a brick wall, you will call the echo conversation and go to bed dizzy. I am not telling you to become suspicious of love. I am telling you to trust me to curate who gets to touch the part of you I am stitching. I am not asking you to ghost. I am forming you to steward. Ghosting is cowardice. Stewardship is clarity. Ghosting punishes, boundaries protect. And protection is love. Love for the calling I placed in you. Love for the future friendships that will require a healed you. Love for the work that cannot be born if you are always mid-explanation. Take one more slow breath. Slow, not deep. Notice how, even as we speak, there is a small place inside that is relieved at the thought of not composing that paragraph tonight. That relief is not cruelty. It is coming home. Let those who need constant access to your correction call you distant. Let those who profited from your self-doubt call you changed. You are changed. You are being moved from begging to being, from approval chasing to assignment keeping, from weather reading to covenant living. So here is my instruction framed as shelter. If the urge rises tonight to fix someone's narrative of you, place your hand on your chest and breathe. Whisper to me instead of typing to them. Write what you wish you could say, but write it in your journal as a receipt, not in their inbox as an application. There will be a time for certain conversations, but not from panic, not to be re-chosen, not to renegotiate what I have settled. Sequence is mercy. Boundaries are mercy. Redirection is mercy. You are not unloved. You are being released from needing permission to be who I already called you. You are not too much. You carried too many versions of yourself to keep peace in rooms that did not want your truth. You are not being punished. You are being placed. Obey this placement and watch how quickly the begging quiets. Watch how quickly clarity returns when you stop auditioning for courts I never sent you to. Stay with me, obey in order, and rest in the fact that every closed door I author is a room I am reserving for you somewhere better than the hallway of other people's moods. Chosen one, let me speak to time. I will be precise because you do not have time for vague messages. There are two words your scriptures use for time: chronos, clock time, the tick and the tock, the calendar squares, the phone alerts, the rotation of hours that feel the same. Kairos, appointed time, the holy interruption inside ordinary hours, the window you cannot manufacture and you cannot recover if you treat it like any other night. Chronos you can plan, Kairos you must perceive. Chronos repeats, Kairos opens once. The doors of Kairos do not argue, they open and they close on the timetable heaven set. Tonight is not random. Tonight is not just Sunday night or Tuesday night or a night like any other. Tonight is a window. I have set it like a thin seam between your old reflex and your new ritual. The change will not be loud. It will be decisive. It will feel like choosing a hallway that looks the same and then discovering, 3 steps in, that the air is different, the echo is new, and the doorknobs, for once, are in your jurisdiction. Do not wait for fireworks. You are being rewired, not entertained. You are being freed, not distracted. Take one slow breath, not deep, slow. Let the air arrive without performance. Feel how your chest loosens a fraction when I name what your spirit already sensed. The night has been marked. You are inside the window now, whether you felt extraordinary today or exhausted. Windows do not ask if you are ready. They reveal whether you will obey. Why tonight? Because your nervous system writes laws in the quiet. Your body chooses its leaders when the lights are low. The hours before you sleep are a court where your mind stamps whatever you practiced as how we survive. If you end the day by scrolling for proof, your brain files begging under safety. If you end the day by composing paragraphs to manage other people's impressions, your amygdala calls hypervigilance home. If you end the day by breath, prayer, and written receipt, your system learns a new pattern: worth guarded by God, peace chosen without apology, identity anchored without debate. Bedtime rituals become identity rituals. You are not just winding down. You are telling your future which voice to obey. Modern wisdom can measure pieces of this: how the racing signal quiets when breath slows, how the brain consolidates memory in sleep, how the heart rate variability shifts with prayer, how what you write becomes harder for the mind to deny. But hear me beyond the science. I am using the softness of tonight to engrave what their moods cannot smudge. This is why the urge to text will spike as the room goes quiet. This is why your hand will reach for the screen when the house finally settles. Your old training wants the last word, because the last word becomes the morning law. Do not give your last word to a timeline. Give it to me. Obedience is timing. You think obedience is just what you do. I am telling you, obedience is when you do it. Later is often Chronos talking you out of Kairos. Later lets the reflex rebuild the shack you just dismantled. Later is how you keep the performance alive. Sequence is not a suggestion, it is a shelter. When you obey in order, You step under the covering I arranged for you. Breath first, so panic does not narrate the night. Prayer second, so custody of your worth changes hands. Journal third, so your mind has to bow to evidence it cannot scroll past. If you reverse this, you will call the experience confusing and decide it didn't work, when in truth you stepped through the doors out of order and found a wall where there would have been a corridor. I know you want a sign that feels like a rush, a spike, a surge, the hot hand of certainty slamming on your chest and flipping every switch at once. That is not how this window works. You are not chasing an emotional high, you are entering alignment. Alignment often feels like less at first, because chaos had been your normal. Peace may feel unfamiliar, even suspicious. You will be tempted to name the quiet emptiness. Do not put last season's label on this season's medicine. That hollow you hear is not abandonment. It is echo, room where you used to stuff other people's problems. It will fill with presence if you will let it. Stay with me in the quiet. Breathe like you are safe already. Pray like your value is mine to hold. Write like the verdict is final. Take one slow breath. Slow, not deep. Let me pastor you through the hour that decides the habit. Do not get up to wipe the counter again. Do not rehearse the conversation you are not going to have. Do not check their page one more time to see if you were right about their mood. Obedience now is protection later. If you keep your fingers off the send button tonight, your mornings will stop starting with apology. If you give me the last 10 minutes before sleep, your afternoons will stop needing rescue. If you walk into the order I have given, breath, prayer, journal, the begging mechanism will not have access to your first thoughts tomorrow. Hear me warn you as mercy. If you treat this as optional, you will drift, subtly, quietly, credibly, back to the ritual that has kept you tired. You will not feel punished. You will feel busy. You will feel needed. You will feel productive. And 3 weeks from now, you will call yourself confused again and wonder why the ache returned. The cost is not theatrical, it is cumulative. The salvation is not theatrical either. It is cumulative in the other direction. Tonight is the hinge. What will it feel like? The first minutes may feel awkward. Your body will ask, "Are we sure?" Your shoulders will creep, your thumbs will twitch. Your mind will generate precise arguments for one last check. Smile at the training you are undoing. Place your hand on your chest. Say in your heart, "I am not late to my life. I am on time with God." Then let one slow breath expand you. Whisper to me, not well, not fancy, not loud, just honest. My worth returns to your custody tonight. And when you put ink to paper, do not write a speech. Write a receipt. 1 line will do. 3, if you must. Evidence of who I have called you. Your mind will want to keep it complicated. Simplicity is authority. Chosen one, this is your kairos. You did not miss it. You are standing in it now. You are allowed to let tonight be decisive without being dramatic. You are allowed to stop rehearsing for other people's weather and start building in my climate. Chronos will keep marching no matter what you choose. Kairos will not. Do not trade window time for clock time. Do not trade appointment for habit. The way you close your eyes tonight is a vote. Cast it for freedom. Breathe as if safety is not a rumor. Pray as if custody truly changed hands. Write as if the court has already stamped the file. Settled. And sleep as one who will wake tomorrow under a new law. Chosen one, listen to me now with the same stillness you have been practicing. There are 3 doors in this one night, and they open in order. Not because I enjoy rules, because the house of your peace is load-bearing and the beam is sequence. Breakthrough is not one dramatic shove. It is thresholds crossed in the right order. So what I place in you has something to sit on. Tonight is not a maze. It is a corridor with 3 handles. Door 1, nervous system regulation. Door 2, spiritual receipt. Door 3, identity evidence, breath, prayer, journal, in order. Let me show you why order matters. If you journal first, you spiral. The pen becomes a drill, tunneling into fears that were never meant to be architects. You start writing to argue your case to invisible juries. You write to be believed, not to believe. Your mind, still hot from the day, will hijack the page and produce essays of explanation that feel productive and leave you more wound than when you sat down. Door 3 before door 1 is like trying to sign a covenant while your hands are shaking. The ink blurs. The signature looks nothing like you, and in the morning you do not recognize what you wrote. If you pray without calming, you perform. Panic turns prayer into a stage where you deliver a monologue to convince me to be good. Your words speed, your tone pleads, your breath forgets, and you confuse volume with authority. You list receipts of your behavior as if I need to be reminded why I should love you. You mistake urgency for faith. Doctor 2 without door 1 is like trying to hear a whisper during a siren. You will call me distant when the noise is local. If you calm without truth, you numb. You breathe yourself into a fog that feels like peace but is just dissociation in a borrowed robe. Your shoulders drop, your heart rate slows, but your worth is still wandering the streets looking for a porch light. Regulation without revelation is a waiting room with no doctor. You feel better for an hour and then reach for the old habits to feel better again. Door 1 without door 2 turns breath into a sedative instead of a key. And if you stop at prayer, if you place your value back into my custody and then refuse to create a record, you make it easy for tomorrow's mind to gaslight tonight's miracle. Skipping door 3 keeps the shift sentimental. You wake and call last night a mood. You heard me, you felt me, and then you let the morning tell you it was a dream. Without identity evidence written by your own hand, the verdict remains vulnerable to weather. Door 2 without door 3 is rain on seed with no soil. It blesses, then evaporates. Hear me warn you as mercy. Skipping door 1 makes door 2 feel distant because your inner siren will outshout my softest truths. Skipping door 2 makes door 3 self-centered because the page becomes a mirror of you instead of a receipt of me. Skipping door 3 makes the whole thing temporary because the mind prefers habits to holy interruptions and will erase what it cannot see. This is not punishment, it is physics of the soul. The sequence does not make me present, it makes you available. Take one slow breath, not deep, slow. Feel the way your ribs expand like curtains, opening to let light in. That is door 1 beginning to turn. When the body stops sprinting, you are not suddenly holy, you are hearable. Hearable is how prayer lands, where it can do what it came to do. And prayer, when it lands, does not float as poetry. It appoints, it reassigns custody. It moves the file of your worth off the desk of human moods and places it into my hands where no tone, no delay, no emoji, no silence can amend it. From there, the page receives the stamp. Ink becomes an altar. Your handwriting becomes a notarization of heaven's verdict. Let me make collapse visible so you can choose reinforcement. You have tried to push all 3 doors at once. A hurried breath while composing a text to keep a friendship from changing. A half prayer while scrolling. A journal entry that looked like a publicist's brief. You called it multitasking. It was fear. Tonight you will not live like the house is on fire. Tonight you slow. Tonight you respect the beam. Door 1 sets the pace. Door 2 sets the law. Door 3 sets the record. This is mercy, not micromanagement. I am not measuring your posture with a ruler and giving you a grade. I am protecting a newborn. In the beginning, your freedom is small and brilliant and easily startled, like a candle that can be smothered by a careless hand. Sequence is the glass around the flame, until the room learns this new warmth is normal. Perfection is not required, order is. If your mind argues, "But what if I do it wrong?" Let me settle it. Wrong is out of order, not out of eloquence. You cannot pray badly when the breath has already told your body, "We are safe with God." You cannot journal badly when prayer has already declared, "This is not a debate, this is a decree." Consider the architecture beneath each door. Door 1, nervous system regulation, is your first act of faith because it refuses to make identity decisions with a body in alarm. Breath, slow, not deep, tells your amygdala the war is not in the room. Muscle by muscle, you cancel the reflex to bargain with people for your oxygen. When your shoulders drop, it is not laziness, it is leadership returning to your chest. Panic had been running the meeting. You just asked it to sit down. Door 2, spiritual receipt. Prayer that transfers custody is not you performing devotion. It is you signing the handoff. Say it plain, not pretty. My worth returns to your custody tonight. Let the words be legal, not lyrical. I do not need adjectives. I need agreement. When you pray this way, after you have breathed this way, your system is able to receive, not just recite. Words enter the open door and build furniture, not just bounce off the walls. Dr. 3, identity evidence, journaling that turns verdict into receipt, is not a novel. It is a ledger. 1 line, 3 at most. Evidence of who I say you are. I am chosen. I am enough by God's verdict. My peace is protected. Write it as if a clerk is stamping it behind the counter. Do not explain. Do not argue. Do not summarize your day. Do not litigate your worth. The page is not a courtroom. It is a vault. You are depositing truth that will earn interest in your sleep. If you try to live out of order, the quiet cost is cunning. You will feel productive because you wrote 3 pages with passion, but wake edgy because the body never stood down and the prayer never reassigned custody. You will feel spiritual because you prayed loud, but tomorrow you will still check your phone first because you prayed from alarm, not from alignment. You will feel calm because you breathed yourself smooth, but by afternoon you will need another hit because calm without covenant is comfort without commitment. Do you see it? Sequence is the difference between a night off and a new life. Take another slow breath, slow, not deep. I am not rushing you. I am rescuing you from rushing yourself. This is the night you stop letting other people's weather determine your rituals. This is the night you choose to be coached by peace instead of chased by panic. Chronos will offer you 100 reasons to delay. Kairos will not wait. You do not need a perfect room or a perfect mood. You need order. Breath first, so the room inside widens. Prayer second, so the law inside changes. Journal third, so tomorrow cannot pretend nothing happened. Let me anticipate the pushback your training will send. But what if I fall asleep after door 1? Then sleep under door 1's shelter and wake to finish. You did not fail. You followed order as far as you could go without strain. What if my words feel dry at door 2? Dry is not distance. Dry is detox. Keep the transfer short and legal. What if door 3 feels silly? Silly to whom? To the part of you that only respects grand gestures. Heaven honors receipts. Mercy says sequence because mercy knows how fragile a new way of being is on its first night. I am not asking you to sprint. I am asking you to step through 3 thresholds without turning back to wave at the old house. Do not text the old house. Do not post from the hallway. Do not narrate this to witnesses who would prefer you undecided. Obedience is quieter than performance and 10,000 times more potent. Now I am going to walk you through it precisely. Stay with me. You are not doing this alone. Where you are, as you are, with the light you have, we will take door 1 together, then door 2, then door 3. Slow, not deep. Honest, not ornate. Evidence, not essays. The begging ends where the order begins. Chosen one, stop everything. Sit down. Put both feet on the floor. Place your phone face down on the other side of the room, not in your lap, not on the couch beside your thigh. Away. No, just checking. No, I'm only turning on do not disturb. The compulsion to reach is the old contract knocking. Do not answer. Now take one slow breath, not a deep one, a slow one. Let the air arrive like a friend who does not need to perform to be welcomed. This is door one. Your first act of faith tonight is physical. You think faith begins with a sentence. It begins with a signal. Breath is the signal. Slow breath tells your brain, we are not under attack. When your body believes you are safe, you stop making identity decisions from panic, the urge to send the text, to fix their mood, to prove your worth before bed. That urge rides on urgency. Urgency rides on alarm. Alarm loosens when the exhale lengthens. Slow, not deep. We are telling the siren to stand down so you can hear me. Unclench your jaw. You have been bargaining with your molars. Drop your shoulders. They have been trying to hold up other people's skies. Open your hands. Notice if the fingers were curled like a contract you were ready to sign just to be kept. Feel the chair hold you without you earning it. Your body has been negotiating for love all day. Chin tilted just right, voice managed, breath held, stomach pulled in, toes gripped in shoes, like subtle bribes for approval. Tonight, I am teaching your body a new language. Loved without bargaining, safe without hustling, worthy without a ping. Take another slow breath. Count nothing if counting makes you perform. Simply let the inhale enter without yanking and let the exhale leave longer than it came. You are not forcing calm, you are allowing safety. Stay here. Your phone can ring and not be your master. The timeline can move without you proving you're alive. They can post and your oxygen will not change hands. This is not avoidance, this is order. Breath first. Here is the practice, and I want you to do it with me now. 4 slow breaths, each paired with a sentence that rewires your reflex. You will whisper them, or you will say them in your heart, where I hear even louder. Ready. Breath 1, in slow, out slower. As you exhale, say, I am safe. Not because every circumstance is gentle, but because I hold you. Safety here does not mean nothing hard can happen. It means panic does not get to choose your identity. Tell your body, I am safe. Breath 2, in slow, out slower. As you exhale, say, I am held. Let your shoulders drop that last quarter inch they were saving for crisis. You are not the only one keeping you alive. You do not have to stay tense to deserve care. The exhale is your release clause. I am held. Breath 3. In slow, out slower. As you exhale, say, I am not behind. Hear me cut the leash that yanks you toward frantic fixing. You are not late to your life. You are not missing the last chance to be believed. The clock does not own you. Kairos carries you. I am not behind. Breath 4. In slow, out slower. As you exhale, say, I do not chase. Let the words settle like a new law in your chest. Chasing trains your nervous system to confuse motion with belonging. You are permitted to be found by goodness without sprinting for it. I do not chase. Stay with me a moment longer. Feel what is changing. It may be subtle, the way your back meets the chair, the way your eyes soften at the edges, the way your mouth releases from a smile you were holding like armor. Do not reach for the phone to check if it worked. The need to verify in their eyes is exactly the contract this door is breaking. You have been living under a simple but brutal agreement. If I move fast enough to keep everyone soothed, I am allowed to rest. Breath rewrites it. Because I am loved already, I do not regulate others to regulate me. Chosen one, Understand what the slow breath is doing in the machinery of your humanity. That twitch in your thumbs. That is the muscle memory of begging. That hum just under your skin. That is the residue of being measured by reaction time. Your amygdala has been on a hair trigger, scanning for mood shifts and composing responses before your spirit can answer. When you breathe slow, you tell that sentinel, "Stand down, no lions in this room." Blood returns to your prefrontal place. Wisdom can take a seat again. Now, later doors can speak and be heard. I am not asking you to become a yogi. I am asking you to tell the truth to your biology. Your worth is not in danger. Your assignment is not a hostage to anybody's blue bubble. Slow breath is not a spiritual parlor trick. It is you declining to make covenants under duress. Trials are not signed in panic. Destiny does not accept signatures written with shaking hands. The world taught you to answer alarms with paragraphs. Tonight, you answer them with air. Put your tongue on the roof of your mouth to soften the jaw. Let your shoulders slide away from your ears. Uncross your legs if you can. Place both feet flat, receiving ground without gripping it. Open your hands on your thighs, palms up, as if to prove to your own limbic system you are not mid-bargain. Small changes, but your body reads them like headlines. No chase required, no case to argue, no courtroom open. Breath is your first yes. If tears come, let them come without analysis. They are not proof of weakness. They are the thaw that follows years of bracing. If a yawn rises, do not stifle it. Your system is choosing rest over readiness for a fight that is not in this room. If your mind objects, "This is silly. This is wasting time. This is nothing," smile at the voice that confuses chaos with purpose. You are not entertaining yourself. You are changing custody of the microphone inside your chest. Now, test the boundary that protects this door. Keep the phone where you placed it. Your compulsion will dress itself as courtesy, just reminding them, just so they don't think, just to show I care. Hear me, anything you send from alarm is not care. It is currency you are paying to rent peace for the night. Put your peace on subscription and you will always be billed by other people's moods. Not tonight. While you breathe, your phone is Sabbath. Across the room, face down. No just checking. Take those 4 breaths again if you need to. You are retraining more than a habit. You are retraining a history. So much of your life has been built around making sure the outside does not feel what you are feeling inside. But I am not asking the outside for permission. I am speaking to you right now in this chair, feet on this floor, breath like a tide that refuses to hurry. You have disguised panic as productivity and called it love. Love is not frantic. Love is not a hostage negotiator. Love is present, paced, protective. So is this breath. Chosen one, feel how the room is no longer your judge. Feel how your body is no longer a courtroom. You did not make a single argument, and yet authority has entered the space. That is what happens when you exit the panic contract. You do not need to chase to be chosen. You do not need to clench to be kept. You do not need to explain to exhale. One more time, with the words that will become your prelude every night in this window and beyond. In slow, out slower, I am safe. In slow, out slower, I am held. In slow, out slower, I am not behind. In slow, out slower, I do not chase. Let the last exhale linger. Let your hands remain open. Keep the phone where it is. You have walked through door 1. Now your body is ready to let prayer be more than performance. Stay with me. Slow, not deep. We go in order because mercy knows your flame is real and deserves a shelter where no gust of someone else's weather can put it out. Chosen one, stay right here. Do not go get the phone. Do not make tea. Do not tidy what can wait. Your body has stood down. Now your spirit can stand up. You have been negotiating your worth. Tonight we end the negotiation. Take one slow breath, not deep, slow. This is not for drama, this is for jurisdiction. Prayer now is not a speech, it is a transfer. Your worth has been on loan to timelines, to tone shifts, to read receipts, to the way a voice sounded when it said your name. Tonight, custody changes. My hands, not theirs. My verdict, not their weather. My voice, not the echo of rooms I did not send you to manage. I will be precise because you do not have time for vague prayers. I am going to lead, and you will answer. Not loud, not ornate, just honest. Let your breath set the pace. Slow, not deep. When I say, you answer in your heart or with your lips. Dry is allowed, shaky is allowed, honesty is required. Say, Father, I acknowledge how I have been living. I have bartered my peace for proof. I have rushed to the screen to feel kept. I have auditioned for love with explanations and extra effort. I have let silence speak louder than your word. I have treated human moods like judges. I am tired. Stay with me. No shame. Mercy is in the room. Repentance is not a whip. It is a turn. Say, I turn. I turn from begging. I turn from chasing. I turn from over-explaining. I turn from reading tea leaves in texts. I turn from making people my shepherd. Forgive me for placing my identity on altars you did not build. I receive your mercy. Take a slow breath, out, slower. I am not dangling love as a prize for a perfect confession. I am handing you a deed. Tonight is paperwork. We are moving the file. Say, my worth returns to your custody tonight. I resign as manager of my image. I place my name, my value, my future, and my peace in your hands. I accept your verdict. In Christ, I am enough. Chosen one, feel the difference. This is not flattery language. This is legal language, custody, jurisdiction, file, stamped, sealed. Your worth was never safe in the vault of someone else's day. In my hands, no human mood can touch it. Now we renounce the agreements that kept you leasing peace from other people's weather. Say, I renounce the lie that a late reply means I am less. I renounce the script that says, if I do more, they will keep me. I renounce the vow, I will never be left again, so I will over-explain to be indispensable. I renounce the belief that I must be chosen by people to know I am chosen by God. I renounce the fear that quiet means I am forgotten. I renounce the pressure to perform to keep doors open you did not assign. Slow, not deep. Let the exhale be agreement. Now protective declarations, walls and gates that keep what we just transferred in the right place. Say, I will not chase what God did not assign. I will not audition for love. I will not plead for clarity from the confused. I will not translate silence as a verdict. I will not confuse access with favor. I will not hand my peace to anyone's notifications. I will not apologize for choosing order. Chosen one, I am not asking you to hate yourself for wanting to be seen. That desire was planted by me, but you trained it to eat from the wrong table. Guilt wants to walk in now with its long fingers and point. How could you? Send it away. Say, I release guilt that masquerades as holiness. Seeking validation was understandable in rooms where attention equaled safety, but validation is not my shepherd. Jesus is my shepherd. He is not asking me to self-hate. He is asking me to come home. Let your shoulders drop the last small inch. Let your jaw unclench. Breathe slow. Prayer is working not because you feel a surge, but because you signed the transfer. Now we speak my verdict over you, not to convince me, but to retrain the place inside you that has been listening to weather reports. Say, I am the one God loves. I am called not because I am perfect, but because He is faithful. I am enough by God's verdict. I am protected in my peace. I am not for sale to moods. You will be tempted to bargain in the middle of this prayer. But what about them? But what about that opportunity? Not tonight. Do not pull cases onto the table when we are sealing the deed. Opportunities assigned to you cannot be threatened by your refusal to beg. Love assigned to you cannot be bought by your need to perform. Say, I will not bargain with fear. I will not keep contracts I did not read. I tear up the need to be indispensable to be loved. Take another slow breath. This is where you think you must add many words. You do not. Authority is not in length, it is in alignment. Now seal. Whisper with me 3 times, not for performance, for agreement. I receive. I receive. I receive. Let the quiet answer back. Heaven hears a whisper with more weight than a shout spoken from panic. Now I place what you have said in the frame of my word. I call you mine. I call you chosen. I call you enough. I call you protected. I call you sent. Nothing about the cross was indecisive. Nothing about my love is on probation. Your worth is not a trial balloon to be judged by public opinion. It is a settled fact, inked in blood and breath. We are not finished until we set a guard at the gate you used to leave open. Pray with me for protection, not paranoia, but prudence. Say, set a watch over my tongue, Lord. Set a guard over my send button. Place a wall of wisdom between my feelings and my actions. Let your spirit interrupt me before I reach for appeasement. Give me the grace to be silent where I used to explain. Teach me to bless and to be still. You have carried so many names in your throat, peacemaking as pleading, generosity as rescuing, leadership as overfunctioning. Hear me reframe. You are not abandoning people. You are abandoning the altar of your self-worth in their hands. That is mercy for you and truth for them. When you stop auditioning, you stop lying to them about what love requires. Say, I release people from carrying my identity. I forgive those who benefited from my confusion. I return their names to your care. I ask you to bless them as you free me. Chosen one, you will feel a grief rise here. It is not grief for losing love. It is grief for losing the only strategy you knew. Let it come. But do not negotiate. You are crossing over. Prayer tonight is not a performance to earn a mood. It is a paper trail. It is the moment the file moved. Do not inspect the clerk. Do not worry about the stamp. You have said what needed to be said. Now I will underwrite it. Say, Father, write this into my sleep. Let my first thoughts tomorrow find this verdict already hung on the walls of my mind. Let the morning inherit what the night decided. Let my bones learn this rhythm. Let my phone be Sabbath to my soul. Keep me inside the shelter of order. Slow breath, out slower. The panic contract is broken. The custody is transferred. The walls are raised. Now, 2 final declarations for your path. Say, I belong where peace is possible. I advance where obedience leads. I do not need human proof to move with God. Whisper one more time as sealing and as surrender. I receive. Then be still. Feel how little you had to do for something so large to move. This is what happens when prayer is authority, not performance. When you stop begging me to love you and let me be the keeper of your name. Do not go for the phone. Do not narrate this moment to anyone. Do not look for a sign to congratulate you. This is covenant, not content. We will place it on record now. Dr. 3 waits, a page to hold what your spirit now knows, so your mind cannot pretend it never received it. Stay with me. Slow, not deep. We go in order. Chosen one, we are at the 3rd door. Do not stand up. Do not fetch your phone as a timer. This is not a performance to be measured. This is a record to be kept. The breath slowed your alarms. Prayer moved the file. Now paper holds the proof. Tonight I am asking for ink because your mind has been slippery with memory when panic rises. Journaling is not to convince me I am not undecided. It is to retrain your mind to stop pretending it did not hear me. A receipt is not created for the store. It is created for the purchaser to prove what was already settled. Door 3 is your receipt. I will be precise because you do not have time for vague processes. Get a physical notebook if you can, not your notes app. Your phone is still Sabbath and shall remain across the room. Paper anchors what panic tries to float away. Sit the way you are, feet on the floor, hands open for a breath, slow, not deep. Now reach for the notebook or a plain sheet of paper. Date the top right corner. Write the time. Write door 3, receipt. This matters. You are opening an official record. You are telling your future self where to return when the old training tries to reopen negotiations. 3 pages, in order, fronts only. Fill them. Do not craft. Do not curate. Do not edit. Do not spiritualize. Raw truth breaks the spell of performance. Write fast, faster than your inner critic can pick up a red pen. If your mind stalls, write the last phrase you wrote again until your hand outruns the hesitation. If emotions rise, let them ride on the ink. Messy handwriting is not rebellion, it is honesty, outrunning vanity. We are not auditioning, we are making evidence. Page 1, at the top, write, where I've been begging for proof. Under it, pour, list, run on, bullet, spill. Name the rooms where you have paid for peace with explanations. The text you sent at midnight with too many lines. The apology you offered for simply holding a boundary. The way you refresh a thread to confirm you are still chosen. The jokes you laughed at to be kept. The discounts you gave to be palatable. The meetings you stayed in 2 hours past purpose because leaving felt like rejection. The way you stroked a tone to avoid their weather. The times you scanned for read receipts, like oracle bones. The photo you posted as a flare to check if eyes still watched. The sentences that started with, just so you know, and I was only, to sanitize your existence. The way you overgave gifts to earn soft landings later. The people you performed competence for so they wouldn't question your access. The days you woke up already in court, arguing your way into belonging. Name the micro bends that looked like kindness, but were really pledges of worth for rent. You are not blaming, you are bearing witness to patterns. Do not protect your image on this page. Protect your freedom. Write what you did, not what they did. We are moving you from defendant to witness. Witnesses tell what happened so truth can do its work. If your hand tightens, breathe slow. If your face burns with shame, let the pen run colder than the heat. Shame loses authority in specificity. I beg for proof when. Finish the sentence 20 times if you must. Write until the page is full. If you reach the bottom and the ache says, there is more, turn no further yet. Not yet. Finish the 1 page. 1 page is enough to puncture the balloon where vagueness kept you floating. Page 2. Turn the leaf. At the top write what God has already shown me. Now answer with evidence from heaven, not rumors from moods. Do not invent, remember. List the scriptures that refuse to let you drown this year. I have called you by name. You are mine. The way Psalm 139 stitched you together on nights you felt spare-parted. The way Isaiah whispered, fear not, when rooms grew colder. Write the dreams. The hallway you keep walking. The recurring ocean you learned to float on. The building with doors you did not have to kick. Write the blessings that arrived without audition, calls you didn't chase, favor that stood in your path, a yes that found you in a grocery aisle. Write the compliments you shrugged off, but now honor. You carry peace. You see what others miss. You steadied the room. Write the inner confirmations you felt like a drop on the inside of your ribs. Write the way my presence sat on your chest on a Tuesday at 4:44. Write the little rescues, parking spots that said, "You are seen," meals that multiplied, joy that surprised you mid-laundry. This is not nostalgia. This is a list of receipts from heaven. Your mind needs to see what your spirit already knows. Write fast. Do not attempt poetry. Truth wears work clothes. Let it walk onto the page. If a cynical voice says, "This is silly," smile like you are cataloging diamonds while someone calls them rocks. Continue. If a theological police officer tries to edit, remember, this is not a doctrinal paper. This is a record of kindness. You are not proving God's goodness to God. You are reminding your amygdala that provision is a person, and that person does not need to be chased. Page 3. Turn again. At the top, write, "What I will do instead." This is where mercy turns into movement. Be concrete. No slogans. No "be more authentic" fog. What replaces begging is a rhythm. Write, "I will place my phone across the room every night at insert your time. I will begin with 4 slow breaths and the 4 sentences he gave me. I will pray custody before I sleep. I will not send paragraphs from panic. I will not reread my words to see if they sound safe. I will answer in timelines that protect my peace, not other people's alarms. I will practice the no-text covenant after journaling for the next 24 hours. I will schedule a daily 15-minute window for messages, not live in a constant proving stream. I will allow silence to be neutral, not a verdict. I will let undesirable outcomes stand without me performing CPR on them. I will redirect energy from appeasement into assignment. Name 2 assignments waiting for your attention. I will make room for the friends who meet me without invoice. I will choose rooms where my presence is not debated. I will leave when my peace is taxed. I will forgive quietly and move blessedly. I will learn the sound of my shepherd's voice and obey, even if it looks like withdrawal to those addicted to my availability. Write the tiny mechanics. When I feel the itch to check if they saw it, I will stand, drink water, and breathe. When I want to send proof, I will read page 2 out loud. When guilt taps, I will answer, "Not tonight." When an old pattern calls me indispensable, I will whisper, "God is able," without me performing. Include where you will keep this notebook. Include when you will revisit page 3 in the morning. This is not fantasy. This is a plan. Plans tangle panic's thread. Now the "do not" list that protects the seed. On the bottom of page 3, write "do not" and complete with these lines. Do not text the person about this decision. Do not post a hint to fish for applause or concern. Do not craft a teachable post as a substitute for obedience. Do not look for a reaction to justify what heaven already settled. Do not translate their silence into evidence. Do not send an apology for choosing order. Do not announce boundaries to those who benefit from your confusion. Do not ask a committee for permission to be kept by God. Protect the seed. Seeds die under spotlights. You will be tempted to show someone your pages before you sleep. Resist. This is covenant, not content. The page is the witness. Heaven is the co-signer. Your spirit knows. Your mind will try to reopen court at 2 a.m. The receipt will be your gavel. Place the notebook on your nightstand or under your pillow like a title deed. If tears pool, let them seal the edges. If relief arrives, do not bargain with it. Receive. At the very bottom of page 3 in your own handwriting, write the line that locks the drawer and swallows the key. I am enough because God said so, not because they proved it. Underline it once if you are gentle, thrice if your hand needs a ritual. Sign your name. Write tonight's date. This sentence is not flair. It is the banner that will hang over your thoughts when morning comes looking for the old contract. Chosen one, feel the quiet now. Not empty, secured. Not numb, guarded. You have not ranted online. You have not made a show. You have recorded a verdict. Your nervous system will reach for the old leash. It will find the clip is gone. The receipt is in your hand. If a thought arrives, check if they saw. Place your palm on the notebook and whisper, receipt. Slow breath, out slower. If you feel the itch to rehearse the case, open page 2 and let kindness argue better than fear. If a scene from page 1 tries to shame you, remind it this is evidence for release, not for resentencing. I am protecting you with sequence. Breath first, prayer next, paper last. Without this page, your mind would wake up and try to renegotiate what prayer transferred. With this page, the renegotiation will die in the lobby. You do not owe anyone tonight's minutes. You do not owe anyone a debrief. You owe your peace a gate and you're calling a rested steward. Set the pen down. Place your hand over your chest. In slow, out slower. You have done enough for tonight. The verdict stands whether anyone claps. Sleep under it. We will meet what morning brings from this shelter, not from a feed. You are not a plaintiff anymore. You are a keeper of a covenant. And your page holds the receipt. Your mind cannot pretend it never received. Chosen one, stay in the quiet. Do not reopen windows. Do not rehearse outcomes. Your room is not small. It is set apart. The darkness hovering in the corners is not absence. It is a curtain around a work site. Tonight's quiet is a spiritual construction site. Not loud, not theatrical, foundational. I am going to walk you into the stories I have used for centuries to rebuild identity in the dark, Esther in the hidden rooms, and Jonah in the hidden belly, so you stop calling what is wholly a failure and you stop mistaking silence for abandonment. Take one slow breath, not deep, slow. You will feel the instinct to perform even here, to make this moment impressive so it feels worthy of being kept. You do not need to perform to be rebuilt. Identity is poured when no one is clapping. Watch. Esther did not begin in the throne room. She began in preparation, months of oil and myrrh, months of learning how to carry presents without ornaments that scream. She had a window where everything turned, and it did not look like a stage. It looked like a fast. 3 days. No food, no noise, no committee, no perfume except obedience. Before the public yes, there was a private alignment where she stopped auditioning for approval and chose assignment over applause. She did not request many things, Scripture says. She asked for what was appointed. That is identity, not accumulation, but alignment. In those days of quiet, a costume fell off. The pressure to be palatable loosened. The need to be irresistible gave way to the need to be resolute. Mordecai did not groom her to be liked. He prepared her to be ready. For such a time as this, he said, not a vague someday, a window, a kairos interrupting chronos. She did not get the throne room without the fast. She did not get the breakthrough without the becoming. The scepter did not extend because she perfected her speech. It extended because she carried a verdict into the room that had been sealed in the hidden place. If I perish, I perish. Translation: my worth is not up for auction. My identity has left the market. That sentence could not be birthed under chandeliers. It was born in the dark where fear could not feed on faces. Stay with me. Slow breath, out slower. Your fast is not food tonight. It is validation. Your 3 days may not be on a calendar, but the sequence is the same. Withdraw from the table that trained your soul to beg. Align in hiddenness. Carry verdict into visibility. That is what your paused phone is doing. That is what your pages are doing. That is why you feel a grief tugging at you even now. You are not grieving love. You are grieving a version of yourself who survived by pleasing. Honor the grief. Do not resurrect the strategy. Now watch Jonah. Not a queen, a prophet, different assignment, same mechanic. He fled to avoid obedience because he could not stand the theater where mercy would look like weakness. He needed a spectacle, and obedience threatened his performance. A storm came, not to kill him, but to interrupt the tour. Overboard, swallowed, 3 days in the belly, no spotlight, no audience metrics, no echo of his own importance. The belly was not punishment. It was the only space quiet enough for remembering. There, in the dark, he prayed, not lines for applause, but the kind of prayer that sounds like breathing. I called out, and you heard me. Identity peeled back to calling, not commentary. There is a sentence the belly stamps on a soul. I am yours, and your assignment is not a referendum on my image. When the fish released him, the shore did not applaud. Sand did not clap. He simply walked where he was told. Even then he wrestled. The plant rose and fell, and the prophet argued with my mercy. Identity work is not efficient like a show. It is honest like a night. The lesson remained. Better to obey with a quiet spine than to perform with a loud mouth. Better to be in the dark with God than in the light looking for proof. The belly reset how he measured outcomes, not by audience response, but by obedience accomplished. Chosen one, do you see the pattern? I rebuild identity in hidden rooms so the public rooms cannot steal it. I take the appetite that used to eat from applause and I wean it on stillness. I let you feel the ache, not to shame you, but to train you. Withdrawal from validation feels like grief because part of you is dying, the part that thought attention was oxygen. You are not dying, that part is. Breathe, slow, not deep. Let the exhale say goodbye. You have wondered why the quiet makes you restless. Because for years you made movement a proof of worth. You made noise a proof of life. You made response time a barometer for being loved. Esther teaches you to stay still until the speech inside you is pure enough to carry weight without decoration. Jonah teaches you to be held until the fear of being misunderstood loses its grip. One was a queen who chose a fast. One was a prophet who was chosen by a fish. Both were rebuilt off stage. Both carried a verdict out that could not be renegotiated by rooms. Now lift your eyes from their stories to your room. The lamp is low, the phone is silent, the notebook holds ink. This is not loneliness. This is sacred separation. This is what the prophets called the night watch, what Esther called fast for me, what Jonah called from the depths. There is an altar here made of pages and breath. There is a scaffold here made of prayer. The walls are being raised around your name. Do not judge the work by the noise it makes. Foundations pour quiet. I am warning you as mercy. If you leave this site prematurely to prove to somebody what I am doing, the scaffolding will become a stage, and stages are too slick for wet cement. The cost will not be a lightning bolt. It will be the quiet loss of clarity, the old hunger waking up tomorrow and asking for receipts. Protect the poor. Do not step in it to show your footprints. You are not proving, you are becoming. Remember Esther's sentence, if I perish, I perish. Hear how similar it is to the line you wrote at the bottom of your page. I am enough because God said so, not because they proved it. That is the same spirit. That is the scepter already extended in the dark. Remember Jonah's prayer. Salvation is of the Lord. Hear how it rhymes with your transfer. Custody is yours. Identity is yours. Worth is yours. In both archetypes, the argument moved from public court to private covenant. That is what you have done here tonight. You will notice small withdrawals in your body, fingers itching to check, mind composing clearings, pulse nudging you to send a sign. Call it what it is. Detox, not danger. Breathe slow. Let the ache testify. The leash is gone. When you wake before dawn and memory tries to re-enlist you, Lay your hand on the notebook like a citizen placing palm on a constitution and whisper, "Receipt." The dark will lift not because you shouted at it, but because it finished its work. I am precise with you because you do not have time for vague comfort. The window you are in is an Esther window and a Jonah window. 3 doors in sequence, 3 nights of custody, 3 pages of record. The order matters because you are not building a feeling. You are building a life that does not swing on other people's weather. You do not get the throne room without the fast. You do not get the breakthrough without the becoming. You do not get sustainable calling without hidden construction. Chosen one, receive permission. You are allowed to be rebuilt off stage. You are allowed to be less available to confusion while foundations set. You are allowed to feel grief for the self who survived by pleasing and still refused to resurrect them. You are allowed to prefer assignment over applause. You are allowed to be misunderstood for a season while you align. I am not asking you to be harsh. I am asking you to be holy, set apart enough at night that your day cannot sell you. Let me say it plainly so your heart can rest. Tonight's quiet is not a delay. It is a delivery room. Tonight's dark is not a sentence. It is a sanctuary. I am not hiding you to punish you. I am hiding you to complete you. When morning comes, it will not hand you a certificate for performing. It will hand you a crown for enduring, not a medal one, an atmosphere one. Peace that does not negotiate, clarity that does not audition, a pace that does not pant. Take one more slow breath, out slower. Where you are sitting is holy. The floor is an altar. The pages are witness. The silence is covenant. Esther walked out of a fast with a strategy that saved a people. Jonah walked out of a belly with a spine that obeyed a city into mercy. You will walk out of this night with a name secured where it belongs. You will not need to tell them. The life will say it. The window is open now. Stay in it. Let the dark finish its work. Identity is being rebuilt where no human mood can touch it. Chosen one, stay with me. I am going to be precise because you do not have time for vague comfort. What is shifting in you tonight is not make-believe. It is measurable. You are not fighting love. You are retraining a nervous system that confused human attention with safety. There is a 2-stage shift underway. Stage 1, the stress signal that has kept you begging must calm. Stage 2, the recognition signal, the part of you that perceives my guidance without panic, must be reactivated. The sequence matters. You cannot hear a whisper while the siren is wailing, so we quiet the siren first. Then we tune the radio. Take one slow breath. Not deep, slow. This is stage 1 in your body. When you inhale slow and lengthen the exhale, you pull the brake on the system that has been sprinting to please. The breath you practiced is not a wellness trick. It is authority over your alarms. It tells the amygdala, stand down, and it signals the vagus nerve to put weight on your heart so it beats like a drum, not like a woodpecker. This is why the first door was breath. Without it, your identity decisions are made from panic, and panic only knows 2 words, beg or bolt. Tonight, you chose neither. You breathed. You stayed. The scarcity frequency began to lower. Then prayer. Prayer is stage 1 in your spirit. When you said, custody returns to you, you moved your worth out of the reach of other people's weather. You removed it from a courtroom it did not belong to. Prayer is not you pleading with me to agree. It is you agreeing with me about where the file lives. That act recenters authority. The stress signal listens to whoever it thinks is in charge. When you reassign worth to God, the alarms lose their reason to ring. They may still sputter because they are used to being paid attention to, but they stop commanding. This is why the room feels quieter even when the silence outside hasn't changed. Then paper. This is stage two's doorway. Journaling is how you bring your prefrontal witness online, the part of the mind that recognizes patterns instead of reacting to rumors. When you wrote page 2 and cataloged what I have already shown you, you fed your recognition center with evidence. When you wrote page 3 and named simple replacements, you gave your nervous system a script to perform when the old training tries to improvise. Recognition is not mystical fog. It is the restored ability to spot my fingerprints without asking a crowd if they see them too. It is memory married to discernment. It is what children had before the world taught them to audition. An ease with my voice. Chosen one, expect this symptom shift as the nights work on you. The compulsion to check will soften, not vanish in a performance of perfection, soften like a tide that finally obeys the moon. You will notice a clearer internal no that rises without apology. It will feel like a door that closes gently instead of a slam you have to defend. Relief will arrive and feel strange because your body is used to the electricity of panic. Do not call the quiet numb, call it safe. Sleep will begin to deepen over time. Perhaps not tonight with fireworks, but as the sequence repeats, your body will trust the pattern and enter rest faster. Even your dreams may become more coherent, less like scrambled channels, more like a storyline that returns to the hallway you are meant to walk. And there will be a mercy you did not expect. Moments in your day where you notice space between impulse and action. That gap is grace. Inside it, you will find recognition waiting. Now hear me. Relapse moments will test the scaffolding. The brain craves its old drug, dings, replies, quick reassurance, the sugar hit of a compliment that buys 5 minutes of quiet and 3 hours of dependence. That demand is not a command. It is a withdrawal symptom. Treat it like weather. Do not theologize it into a crisis. When your finger twitches toward the phone, name it. Old training. When your chest lifts to send proof, press your palm to the notebook and whisper, receipt. When guilt knocks saying you owe them an immediate explanation, answer to a higher court. Custody is yours. And breathe. Slow in, slower out. You are not resisting love. You are retraining nerves. Let the urge crest and fall without you surfing it into a message. The wave is shorter than you think when you stop feeding it. I am guarding you with sequence for the next 3 nights. Reinforcement stabilizes baselines. Neurons that fire together wire together. Rituals that repeat on purpose become rails your soul can run on without thinking. For 3 nights, chosen one at the same time if you can. Walk through the 3 doors in order. Do not rush them. Do not make them theatrical. Dr. 1, one slow breath, then another, until your exhale is longer than your fear. Door 2, the same prayer of custody. Say the same words. Repetition here is not rote, it is reseating the throne. Dr. 3, 3 fresh pages, even if they are 1 sentence each, that expands. Record where you would have begged, what I have shown, and what you will do instead. Short is not failure. Honest is success. Place the notebook where your hand can find it in the dark. This repetition will tell your body, we no longer sleep on a trial bench. We sleep in covenant. You may notice pushback. The second night often exposes a louder itch because the system realizes you meant it. Let that be confirmation, not condemnation. The third night often tastes like ease. Do not chase the feeling, keep the sequence. Consistency will matter more than intensity. By the morning after the third, you may wake without the courtroom opening in your mind. If it tries, it will find the door locked. You will find yourself choosing message windows instead of living in a constant proving stream. You will find that your no needs fewer words. You will find that when you read page 2 out loud, your body believes you faster. These are the markers that recognition is rising. Understand what recognition is not. It is not a guarantee that everyone will applaud your choices. It is not an exit from grief. It is not a magic foresight that removes faith. Recognition is the frequency where your heart says, "That is my shepherd's voice," and moves without asking 10 strangers to nod. It is the calm in the middle of choices that used to make you perform. It is the room inside your chest that returns when fear stops being the architect. It is the sound of home. Breathe again. Slow, not deep. You are leaving the scarcity station. You are tuning to recognition. The old channel will hiss in protest. The new one will feel quiet at first because you had grown addicted to the hum of anxiety. Quiet is not emptiness. Quiet is clarity without costumes. In quiet, you will notice that the assignment waiting on your desk glows. You will notice the friend whose presence costs you nothing. You will notice the conversation you do not need to have. This noticing is recognition. It is the second stage coming online. Mercy speaks to you as a warning. If you break the sequence because you feel better, the brain will try to renegotiate with panic in a day or two. Not as punishment, the natural consequence of being unprepared for a sequence. Stay with the practice for 3 nights, longer if your spirit says. And when you miss a night because life happens, do not spiral. Do not write speeches to shame yourself. Begin again the next. Recognition is a person before it is a pattern. I am not grading you, I am guiding you. Chosen one, you are not losing love, you are losing a leash. You are not becoming hard, you are becoming whole. The shift is real. The windows are marked, the doors are in order. Keep breathing, keep transferring custody, keep writing receipts. And as your body learns the new rhythm, you will live from my verdict and let your life prove it, while your peace remains under lock and key. I hold. Chosen one, stay with me. I am going to be precise because you do not have time for vague comfort. The scaffolding we raised tonight is still wet. If you step on it to demonstrate progress, it becomes a stage again and your peace slips. So here is your protection order. For the next 24 hours, you enter a covenant of silence, not as manipulation, as obedience, as recovery, as custody enforcement. I am calling it what it is so your nervous system has clear rails, the no-text covenant. Take one slow breath, not deep, slow. Let your exhale be longer than the urge. Here is the covenant in plain words. For 24 hours, you do not reach. You do not send paragraphs. You do not send a "just wanted to see." You do not check read receipts. You do not scroll their page for clues. You do not drop an emoji like a fishing line. You do not craft an apology to bait a response. You do not post a subtext hoping they translate. You do not ask mutual friends to carry a message in your silence. You do not perform availability to be picked. You do not explain your new piece to the person whose confusion used to profit from your old chaos. 24 hours. No reaching, no checking, no proving. Why so clear? Because every reach reopens the wound you just cleaned. Every time you go back to the courtroom to see if the judge is ready to rule in your favor, you volunteer your peace as collateral for a verdict I already signed. Silence here is not cruelty. It is triage. It is the pressure bandage that keeps the healing in place. It is you honoring the transfer you prayed. Custody is yours. When you stop texting for proof, you stop renting your identity to human weather. You stop funding the very storm you are asking me to still. Expect the itch. Your brain has a reflex loop, ding, relief, dependence, that made strangers your oxygen. The covenant is how you retrain breath. When the urge rises, do not negotiate with it. Do not argue theology with a craving. Obey the sequence, replacement, not repression. Take one slow breath, not deep, slow. Read your journal receipt out loud, the line that names who I said you are and the evidence I already gave. Repeat the prayer line you wrote. Custody returns to you. My worth is under your lock. Drink water. Let your body know we are here, not hunting. If it is late, go to bed. If your room feels too loud, walk to the sink and wash your hands as a small baptism that says, we are clean, we are not chasing. Put the phone in another room if you can. If it must stay near, place the notebook on top of it as a cover. That placement is not aesthetic, it is authority. The receipt sits on the thing that used to subpoena you. You will hear a whisper in the itch. If I don't text, I'll lose them. Let me answer without poetry. What is for you will not require you to betray yourself to keep it. Love that requires your self-abandonment is not love. It is a lease with hidden fees. Attention that punishes your silence is not care. It is a hunger that feeds on your anxiety. The covenant exposes this quickly and kindly. If a connection thins because you honored your peace for a single night, you did not lose a person. You lost a leash. And that is mercy. Rejection is not always failure. Sometimes it is release, written in a language only silence can translate. Some will test your boundary. Expect it. Not as paranoia, as pattern. The ones who benefited from your confusion will feel the economy shift. When your need stops paying their power bill, you may receive a question mark, a wow, a guess you're too busy, a string of messages that escalate, solicitous, then sarcastic, then scolding. That test is information, not an emergency. Do not be baited into a debate where your peace is the prize on the table. You do not owe a defense in a court you resigned from. No reply is not contempt. It is covenant. The data is clear. Whoever needs you panicked to feel secure will not steward you at peace. Make a note on page 2 under evidence. Tested boundary equals revealed motive. Then close the notebook. Breathe. Let the exhale complete the sentence you did not send. Chosen one, I know what silence stirs in you. Guilt will knock dressed as kindness. Fear will knock dressed as responsibility. Old training will say, good people reply. Hear me, obedience is not rudeness. Obedience is alignment. The no-text covenant is not you freezing love. It is you melting the ice around your own heart so it can beat without supervision. You are not punishing anyone. You are protecting a pore. Stages are slippery. Wet cement needs stillness. This stillness is how you keep what I just gave you. To keep your mind from inventing speeches, give it simple assignments. When the script starts writing itself, read page 3, the what I will do instead you wrote. Say it as liturgy. Instead of texting for proof, I will breathe slow. I will read my receipt. I will speak the custody prayer. I will drink water. I will go to bed. Short, repeatable. If your body keeps buzzing, place your hand on your chest and count 6 beats in, 8 beats out. Whisper safe on the exhale. This is not a trick. It is the same Vegas break you used at door 1, applied right when panic tries to hold a press conference. You are training cells to believe what your spirit already knows. What about legitimate logistics? Stay with me. The covenant is 24 hours, not forever. You will not dissolve your life by giving your soul 1 day off the auction block. Logistics can wait on a calendar that does not demand your dignity as deposit. And here the deeper line. If your entire relationship hinges on your immediate accessibility, you do not have a relationship. You have a constant emergency. You are not a fire station. You are a person under God's custody. Listen for shame's backup plan. It will say, they will think you are playing games. You are not. Games hide. Covenants reveal. Your silence is not coy. It is clean. You are not flipping roles to control. You are stepping out of a role that was never yours. Their regulator. If they ask later, you will be able to answer with clarity that does not perform. But not tonight. Tonight your answer is between you and me. Let them feel your absence of over-explaining. Let the pattern surface. Let the information come without you prompting it. You cannot receive revelation about a relationship if you keep flooding the channel with explanations. Take another slow breath, not deep, slow. Put the timeline in your mouth so you hear it. For 24 hours, I will not reach, not check, not explain. My silence is obedience, not punishment. My peace is not up for negotiation. Say it exactly. Any simplification becomes a loophole. The craving will offer philanthropic versions. I just want to encourage them. I don't want them to worry. I should own my part. Own your part tomorrow from recognition, not tonight from panic. Encouragement that costs you your oxygen is not charity. It is codependence with a halo on. Let me be God to them for one night. You will feel phantom vibrations, see their name flash in your mind, hear their laugh walk through your memory. Treat these like weather passing a window you do not open. Name it. Old training. Touch your notebook like a constitution and whisper, receipt. If a message arrives and your eyes catch it, do not read it for meaning. Close the screen. Place the phone face down beneath the paper again. If you accidentally start typing, stop at the first word and lay your palm on your chest. Return to breath. Return to prayer. Return to water. Return to bed. This is not failure. This is the exact muscle we are building. Chosen one, I am guarding you by asking you to guard your mouth and your thumbs. Words are doors. Texts are keys. You will not hand out keys to a room I just made holy. Tonight, your words are for me and for the page. In the morning, your words may expand, but they will come from verdict, not from vacancy. The ones who love you will meet you there. The ones who do not will reveal themselves by being angry at your peace. Believe them the first time. Record it, not to nurse a grudge, but to preserve clarity. Let me seal this inside you as a sentence that holds, silence can be obedience. When you stop texting for proof, you stop volunteering your peace as collateral. Anchor it, repeat it. Let it become the reply you never send, but always live. This is not the end of connection. It is the beginning of clean connection. This is not the end of love. It is the end of begging. Breathe, slow in, slower out. The night is on your side. The covenant is in effect. Your peace has a lock, and I hold the key. Chosen one, listen. I am sealing this now. Hear me say it over you like a verdict already entered. You are enough, not because you did more, not because you explained more, not because you proved more. You are enough because I said so. My word is the court. My voice is the seal. Your worth is not an invoice awaiting signatures. It is a decree stamped before you ever learned to beg. Let these sentences be the last sound your soul holds tonight. Chosen one, you are enough. Your peace is protected. Your life will flow from verdict, not from vacancy. Take one slow breath, not deep, slow. Lay your hand on your chest so your body hears what your spirit already knows. Say this with me out loud, even if it is a whisper that only your room can hear. I am enough because God said so. My worth is under God's custody. I no longer beg for proof. I agree with the verdict. Let the exhale carry away the habit of apology. Let the inhale receive the sentence like oxygen. I am not bargaining with you. I am bequeathing you back to yourself. Tonight we seal by agreement. If you need a small act to mark this, write 3 words where your hand can find them in the dark. I receive it. If you can type them somewhere private, type them now. I receive it, not as a show, as a covenant, as a yes that your nervous system can see. When the old training wakes in the middle of the night asking for receipts, point to that line. It is your signature on what I have already signed. Now hear the morning instruction, precise and simple, because sequence keeps what love gives. When you wake, before you touch your phone, door 1, one slow breath. not deep, slow. Let your exhale be longer than any notification you imagine. Then, with the same hand that wanted to reach for the screen, reach for the notebook. Read the last line you wrote last night. Read it out loud. Let your own voice be the first voice you hear after mine. If you wrote "custody returns to you," say it again. If you wrote "no more begging," say it again. Short, clear, no speeches. This is how you keep your crown from slipping in the first 5 minutes of the day. If you forget and your fingers land on the phone by reflex, do not spiral. Put it down. Place the notebook on top of it like a cover. Breathe. Pick up the sentence you sealed and read it anyway. That is not failure. That is repair. Repair is how covenants become muscles and not just moments. Expect this by the second morning, a new discernment that does not shout but does not waver. You will notice the people and places that bring peace without requiring performance. You will notice the conversations that demand you audition for belonging. This awareness is not judgment, it is guidance. It is me turning the lights on in rooms where you used to stumble. Do not argue with the light. When you feel the soft weight of peace around a person, mark it, safe. When your chest lifts and your breath shortens around a person, mark it, performance. Not condemnation, information. You are allowed to choose accordingly. You are allowed to bless from a distance what cannot honor you up close. You are allowed to walk toward what steadies you and away from what spins you. That is not being unloving. That is being stewarded. You will notice, too, that your no grows simple. It will have fewer words and more weight. Do not apologize for clarity. Clarity is not cruelty. It is kindness to both hearts. You will find that you do not owe essays to every expectation. You will discover that silence can be as holy in the morning as it was in the night. Let those who love you meet you at this clarity. Let those who loved your confusion reveal themselves by resisting it. Believe what is revealed without dramatizing it. Record it, breathe, proceed. Chosen one, I am not asking you to become someone else by sunrise. I am asking you to keep what I gave you while you slept. So in the morning, after door 1 and the line you read, do one more small obedience. Thank me for the quiet. Gratitude anchors gains. Whisper, thank you for this peace. Help me walk it, not just feel it. Drink water, open a curtain. Let a square of light become your first appointment. You do not need to audit your entire life before breakfast. You need to obey the first 5 minutes. If the day asks for words, emails, meetings, logistics, speak from the verdict. If an old pattern tries to negotiate, consult the receipt. If guilt arrives dressed as responsibility, answer with the sentence you sealed. I am enough because God said so. Watch what happens to your posture. Even your spine will remember. Before you sleep again tomorrow night, you will recognize something you used to miss. The way peace makes you generous without making you a doormat. The way clarity makes you kind without making you compliant. This is the fruit of living from my verdict. It is strong and soft at the same time, like a river that keeps its banks. Do not rush to broadcast it. Live it. Let your life prove what you stopped trying to prove with words. Take another slow breath, not deep, slow. Hear me name the boundary and the blessing one more time. This is not the end of relationships. It is the end of begging. This is not the end of love. It is the end of leasing your worth to moods you cannot control. This is not you going cold. This is you coming home. Home to the voice that named you before any audience had a vote. Home to the frequency where you recognize me without a chorus. Home to a morning where your first act is worship, not worry. Seal it now. Hand on heart. Whisper the verdict with me. Chosen one, you are enough. I receive it. Let the night hold you. Let the morning meet you. Keep the sequence. Keep the sentence. Keep your peace under the lock I hold. And when you walk out into the day, walk as one already approved. The window is open. The doors are in order. Live from what I said and let your life quietly prove that I was right about you all along.